Do you ever feel like your brain is your own worst enemy? You know you need to finish that project, go to the gym, or study for that exam. But all your brain wants to do is scroll through social media or binge watch another series. It feels like a constant battle, right? What if I told you there's a way to flip the script? A way to actually make your brain crave challenges and enjoy doing hard things. It sounds like a superpower, but it's all based on the science of how our brains work, specifically a little molecule called dopamine. Now, you've probably heard of dopamine as the pleasure chemical, and that's partly true. But it's much more than that. Dopamine is actually about motivation. It's the chemical that gets you to chase after a reward. Think about it. When you eat a delicious meal, your brain releases dopamine. But the fascinating part is that your brain also releases dopamine in anticipation of that meal. It's the let's go get it molecule. The problem is, our modern world has hijacked this system. Things like social media, junk food, and endless entertainment give us quick, easy hits of dopamine without any real effort. This makes our brains lazy. Why would it want to work hard for a reward when it can get one instantly for free? This is where we need to be strategic. We can retrain our brains by changing how and when we get our dopamine. The key is to stop rewarding yourself before you do the hard work. Instead, you link the dopamine release to the effort itself. So, how do we do this? First, you have to cut down on those easy, high dopamine activities, especially in the hours before you need to be productive. This means no mindless scrolling first thing in the morning. When you wake up, your dopamine levels are naturally baseline. If you immediately flood your brain with cheap dopamine from your phone, you've already used up your motivation for the day. Instead, try delaying that gratification. The next step is to learn to embrace the struggle. This sounds weird, I know, but scientists have found that the effort and friction involved in doing something difficult are what actually make the reward feel better. When you're pushing through a tough workout or wrestling with a complex problem, your brain is in a state of high effort. When you finally finish, the dopamine release is so much more significant than if you'd just done something easy. Your brain learns that effort leads to a huge reward. This is how you build what's called growth mindset. You start seeing challenges not as threats, but as opportunities for a big mental payday. To make this practical, start attaching your rewards to the completion of hard tasks. For example, tell yourself, I'll watch one episode of my favorite show, but only after I've spent an hour working on my presentation. Don't just rely on willpower. Create a system. Another powerful trick is to focus on the process, not just the outcome. Celebrate the fact that you showed up and put in the effort, even if the result isn't perfect. This helps your brain associate the act of trying with a positive feeling. Over time, your brain will stop fighting you. It will start to anticipate the satisfaction that comes from overcoming a challenge. It will start to crave the effort because it knows a huge dopamine reward is on the other side. You'll go from procrastinating to proactively seeking out hard things. It's a game changer for productivity, learning, and honestly, for feeling good about yourself. Thanks for watching, and if you found this helpful, be sure to subscribe for more tips on how to master your mind.